All right, time for a little bit of glazing of my club, Liverpool FC, because we've been under the radar. We have been said to be finished, not at the same level. Klopp can't do it again. It's just going to be a bang average Liverpool. And yet, at the moment, currently on the 11th of January 2024, we sit first in the Premier League, not by a big distance, not by a big margin, but if we just cross over, we're sitting first on 45 points. Man City still with the game in hand to play, but even if they win their game in hand, then we are still 2 points ahead. But we know with Man City, you can never be too many points in front or ahead because they're always going to come back and get at you. So it's going to be a very interesting race come the end of the season. Now, what prompted this little video was the other day I'm thinking, okay, we've got a few players out away with international duty. We have a couple of players injured that are coming back at the end of this month, start of February. That's when the big challenge comes back into effect, right? January, we still have a few games to play. We've just beaten Fulham in the first leg of the Carabao Cup 2-1. Again, another come from behind win. Did a video on that recently. Have a look at that. And I thought to myself, okay, that's done and dusted. Okay, what do we have next? Well, next, let's go back again to the screen. We have Bournemouth on the 22nd of January. So that's in 10 days' time. Nice little break in between. And then we see what happens there. Away, realistically, should win that game. But Bournemouth are not exactly pushovers at home. But we should win. We win that. Again, we maintain top position. Put it this way. If we win our games, we remain top. It's as simple as. It's a simple equation. But with Man City, it's never a simple execution. That's the problem. After that, we've got Fulham away in the second leg of the EFL Cup semi. Then we've got Norwich or Bristol in the FA Cup 3 days later. Then a couple of days later, we have Chelsea at home. And then a few days after that, we have Arsenal away, then home to Burnley, and then away to Brentford, which again, another maybe tricky fixture. But let's just focus on these 5 games here. Bournemouth away, Fulham away, Liverpool at home to Norwich or Rovers, at home to Chelsea, and away to Arsenal. These are going to be interesting matches. And I say that because we have players coming back from injuries and stuff like that. So at the moment, Szoboszlai will be back in 1 or 2 weeks. Robertson and Tsimikas back in training due late Jan, early Feb. Trent will be back in a couple of weeks' time as well with his minor little injury. Connor Bradley filling in nicely. And Salah and Endo coming back after the African and Asian Cups in late Jan or early mid-Feb, depending on how far they go. If they get knocked out in the group stage, they'll be back earlier. If they go all the way, let's just say they're going to be back first week of February, right? So there's potential there. So January will be tough. Without Salah, Endo, Robertson, Tsimikas until early Feb at minimum. We're going to need to be clinical and precise if we are going to keep momentum in the league against Bournemouth away, Chelsea at home, potentially with no Salah for that game, no Endo as well, I think. Then Arsenal away in the league, and they may gain points and remain a few points behind us or in front. So who knows with Arsenal, of course. But we need to get through January with as many W's as we can. Then we can start looking forward towards Europa League knockouts. And then our starters will be back, which means a few things for me, right? So I gave Gomez his props in the last video talking about the match against Fulham, right? In the semi-final. So we'll have left backs back again, Robertson and Tsimikas. Now, whether they get back to full match fitness is another thing. Tsimikas probably more so quicker than Robertson, but as long as we have actual left backs, that'll be a good thing because Gomez has been fantastic for us, playing left back, right back, and centre back when needed, okay? But then he'll be able to drop to the bench and rest and cover in case he's needed for a left back, again, for centre back or right back if Connor Bradley isn't going to be replacing Trent when he's back, okay? So there's a few options there. Alongside Kwanzaa in the central positions with Kanate or Van Dijk, depending on who plays because of Matip's injury. You can also put Van Dijk and Gomez. You can put Van Dijk and Kanate, Kanate Kwanzaa, Gomez Kwanzaa, Gomez Kanate. We have a few combinations there. But again, Gomez and Kanate potentially with little niggly injuries. Kanate more so than Gomez. Gomez has been decent so far. Trent has been immense and could have cover from Bradley, as I said. And, Klopp can also use Gomez if he needs in the right back position. Midfielders, when it comes to, you've got Jones, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, Endo, McAllister, Elliott, hell, even Thiago, if he's fit. I mean, I'll be amazed if he ends up playing 5 games this season. I'll be amazed. Bajcetic as well, apparently coming back, so they're early Feb, but we've been through this before. If Thiago is fit and ends up coming back into this squad, it'll be fantastic to have him on the pitch, control a game in the last 20 odd minutes. He's probably not going to be starting, but give him 20, 30 minutes a match if he's fit. 100% bring him into that 6th role and let McAllister venture forward. Maybe let someone else do a little thing here and there. Gakpo or Elliott or Gravenberch or Szoboszlai, whoever it is, right? If Thiago is back. It's a big if, okay? But it's potential. We can mix and match the midfield depending on what we need. But if they're all fit, it bodes well for our fitness levels and we can rest players as well when we need to. The forward line, Salah will be back on the right, which means we could have Diaz on the left or Jota. Darwin down the middle, but arguably, as we've seen in recent matches, Darwin has been better off the left wing with Jota or Gakpo down the middle. Diaz rotating with Darwin could be something Klopp could look at as well. Gakpo is a forward, but could also drop into the midfield and play that false 9 sort of position. We might have seen him a couple of times, and he has played in that midfield before when Klopp has sort of been short of options. He's put Gakpo in there for whatever reason, and that it's a good thing to have these selection problems. If you have selection headaches, it's a good thing because I have players to choose from. It's just getting the right combination of players. The main problem is in the front line with Darwin is him scoring and Diaz getting past his player to get a ball in the box or a goal himself. If he wasn't getting chances, I'd be worried, being Darwin, but he needs a few goals. But as I said, he's getting assists, and if you're getting assists, that means someone else is scoring goals. And if you're assisting, you're contributing to the team, which means you're putting goals on that scoreboard, giving us a better chance of winning a match. Obviously, not to sound a bit like a condescending prick, but I've seen a lot of hate for Darwin Núñez saying he's rubbish, he's crap, he's this and that, and blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, okay, so he's not scoring goals, but he's getting you assists. He's affecting the play. He's opening space for the other players. He's letting other players overlap. He's cutting in. He's making the opposition think. This agent of chaos shit. Like Hussam likes to say, okay, enough agent of chaos memes and shit. Start delivering goals. If he's not delivering goals, if he's getting assists, someone else is scoring goals. So it's not the worst thing in the world. I think a lot of people have just been too spoiled for choice with players. Like, a player comes in for like 80 million and they're expected to hit the ground running straight away. Not every player is a Salah. Not every player is a Haaland. Not every player is a Rice that they're going to get things right straight away from the get-go. Some players do need a little bit of time to get into the flow of things. Darwin's been here for a season and a half now. There's no more mucking about for him. He needs to start banging. But if he's not getting goals, getting assists, I'll take that as well. I will definitely take that. Alisson, best overall goalkeeper in the league, arguably in the world. Keller has been decent in cup games, has filled in at times, but Alisson is important to us and how we play. And of course, this can all be boosted and enhanced with a few additions, but whether FSG decide to spend, if Klopp wants to bring in some players, which I would highly advise he do, at least a couple, a centre-back and a forward perhaps, maybe a midfielder, who knows. But if you get a centre-back and a forward like a striker, no problems whatsoever there. Extra firepower. Moving into the latter stages of the season, of course, Europa League still to come as well. So we're going to need a full fit squad. And, 2 quality players, it can make a big difference, but that's a big if. Now, let me say this again for those who think I'm bigging up Liverpool to win the league. Let me say it again. I personally do not think we will win the league. I've maintained this over weeks. I said we should at least challenge, keep up with City and or Arsenal, whoever's going to be our title challengers, and then see what happens in the last few rounds. The last 10 to 5 rounds, or 5 to 10, however you want to go about it, low to high, high to low, those are going to be pivotal. If it's 5 points between teams and we're going into the last 5 rounds, that's when it becomes squeaky bum time. That's when we really get to see what these squads are made of. That's what's going to happen. Man City with Haaland and De Bruyne back. They're also going to have Doku, they've got Jones, they've got Grealish, they've got, what's his name on the other side? Bloody hell, Silva. They have players that can affect the games, okay? They're back in the business, but no Gundogan or Mahrez, that could also make a bit of a difference because they were clutch players for him in the latter stages of last season and season before that. But anything is possible with City and Pep. You just don't know what you're going to get with them, right? Aston Villa also in the mix as well. They're getting the results. Arsenal still not far behind us. Spurs could overtake Arsenal if they beat United this weekend. I mean, it's still anyone's game. And I've said at the start, if Tottenham are going to be in and around that top four, close to the team coming first, it's anyone's game. I don't think they'll make it, but they're still in that mix. If you're saying Arsenal are in the mix and they're 1 point ahead of Tottenham, for example, then Tottenham are in the mix as well. You can't disregard them. Arsenal, I mean, you're in that top four. You're not far off from one another. So it's anyone's game at the moment. But and it's a massive if we end up winning this league, again, it's a massive if we do. I'm not saying we will. If we do, it would be a massive feat of achievement for this club, its staff, its players, and its manager, Jurgen Klopp, who last season was said to have been finished. Liverpool are done. Midfield is shit. He's done whatever he can with this team, and it's a whole new rebuild now. FSG needs to start buying players, blah, blah, blah. But he backed himself. He said, no, you know what? This team is mine. I know what I need for this team. And he's done well so far. Bought new players in, a whole new midfield. Soboslai, Gravenberch. He's brought in Endo. He's brought in McAllister. You know what I mean? These are pivotal players. They're not nobodies. They're not shit kickers. Endo was brought in, and people thought, why are we bringing in a 15 to $20 million player from the Bundesliga when we were going for a $105 million Caicedo? We're going for a Lavia. Arsenal got a $105 million Rice. Why are we getting this $20 million nobody? And now all of a sudden people are saying like, holy shit, you know what? Endo has been playing better than Rice lately. Endo has, almost everybody's been better than Caicedo at the moment. Caicedo fluffing himself at Chelsea, but Chelsea are in their own mess at the moment, right? But my point is, he's been a pivotal player. Soboslai started well, fizzled off a little bit, maybe needed a break, has a bit of a hammy injury, he'll be back in a week or two. Maybe this break will help him get back into the flow of things as well. Gravenberch as well, getting into the squad, trying to find his feet. Elliott's been picking up form. Jones has been playing out of his skin lately. Gakpo getting himself goals. Jota back from injury. Salah when he comes back from the African Cup of Nations. Endo when he comes back from the Asian Cup. Diaz hopefully regains some sort of form. Yeah, got himself a goal against Arsenal in the FA Cup. Great, but more pleased during the matches. Darwin, if you're not going to get us a goal, get us an assist, and he's doing that so far. Off the bench, off that left side, we need our players to affect the game positively, and they are doing that so far. Okay? Rebuilding the midfield, players misfiring, injuries with positions needing fill-ins, all while being in every single competition to the moment so far. As of the 11th of January, we have done well. Again, I do not think we're going to win the league, but we're going to fucking try win everything we can, because this team is there. There's potential there, which is why it's in the thumbnail. There's potential. When every player is back, if we're still leading the line, come, the last few weeks of April leading into May, then holy fuck, who knows what's going to happen. We still have Tottenham to come. We still have to go away to United. We still have to go away to Arsenal. Again, first week of Feb. Chelsea have to come to us. City still have to come to us. Now, it has been said, City have beaten us at Anfield. We have beaten City at Anfield. Sorry, they haven't beaten us there in a very long while. City will come to Anfield. We will beat City, but they'll still go on to win the league because we've always started. But what I'm saying is, if all our players are back for the last 3-4 months of this league, they come back and we have everyone back from injury from the start of Feb all the way through to mid-May, whenever the season ends, anything is possible. We can go all the way. Will we? That's the question. I don't think so. I think we're going to fall short just because City are just that damn good, and they're going to have Haaland and De Bruyne doing what Torres and Gerrard did years ago. It's just almost telepathic understanding. But again, it's hard to say. It's hard to say what's going to happen. We can only hope based on what we see. And if all our players are back firing, if all our players are back healthy, and we have so many players to pick from, and Klopp is going to sit there and he can say, okay, Gakpo off the bench, let's go. Okay, Darwin off the bench. Okay, Thiago, 20 minutes, control their midfield. All right, well done, Kanate. Kwanzaa's coming on for the last 20 minutes of the match when we're up 3-0, for example. Like, we can do these things. This is what we keep your players fit, keep the mind going. Mentality monsters, Liverpool 2.0, all this sort of shit. But I'm happy that we're under the radar. Keep us under the radar, because when we're under the radar, pressure's off us. Pressure's on Arsenal, pressure's on City, not so much with Aston Villa. But we'll see what happens. Again, I told you it's going to be a bit of a glazing on Liverpool because there is potential here. I don't want to get my hopes up. I'm not saying I'm going to get my hope. I'm not saying I'm getting my hopes up because again, I don't think we'll win the league. But if we're there and thereabouts come towards the end of the season, then fuck, we are definitely going to be backing this squad all the way. And we are backing them all the way to the very end. And we shall see what happens. But there is potential in this team, and I believe in them.